I'm late.
No, you got here right on time.
No, I'm late.
It's the Late Show.
Sorry, I'm late.
You're too late!
The wizard is never late.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm gonna see the show.
But not to come late. You are late.
You're late, man. Always late, huh?
The hour grows late.
You're late. I'm not paying for those.
But is he already too late to save his friends?
You're too late.
And I'm like, dude.
You're not going from Mary Poppins to a savage killer.
I would say yes, it lives up to the hype. What little hype I had for it was pretty damn good.
Okay, now hey, what's going on?
Helps if you're recording before you do that.
Well,
Though I know you knew what you were doing.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. I was doing a mic test.
I know.
Welcome. This is Late to the Show podcast with John Rosenblum and Jake Lavoie.
So,
Hello. This week we're doing a different kind of episode. We're not doing our normal shtick, where we talk about one movie that we haven't seen, one of us hasn't, whatever.
you know what we're about by now, you guys.
Yeah, if anyone's listening, they probably know.
Yeah, well,
One of
Nick,
five of you.
Andrew,
Jordan.
Not
Mom. No. Neither moms.
No, neither moms.
Kate. She'll listen to this in 3 weeks.
To all our fans, all half dozen of you.
What were we saying? Oh yeah, this isn't our normal shit.
No.
This week we're talking about, as fucking pretentious as it sounds, the perfect movie, and we have a list of movies that we think are perfect in one or different ways.
Yeah, this is partly because, 2 days ago we still hadn't watched anything, and had anything picked out. So, but I thought this would be an interesting topic to discuss.
Yeah, and then also on the Independence Day podcast, we mentioned trying to maybe throw in a few different type of episodes here and there, like
Yeah.
what about like a top 10 podcast episode? Not even a top 10, but something in that essence, where because I think in the Independence Day one we talked about great monologues.
Yes,
we're maybe doing an episode for that, but that takes a little more research doing, and this one was just like, what movies do you like?
Yeah, this is like the super subjective thing here.
And by the way, John's gone on record by saying Godfather is maybe a perfect movie. It's not even on his list.
No. What I've said is The Godfather is the greatest movie ever made, is what I said.
Interesting that you wouldn't also call it a perfect movie.
I don't think it's a perfect movie, but that does not necessarily mean a movie is the greatest movie ever made.
Interesting.
Yes.
Ha. Well, do you want to get right into it? Do you want to explain we talked about the genesis of this episode. So.
Yeah, I guess we should probably get, like I said before we started recording, we should probably define, what we see, like how maybe we personally define perfect movie, because perfect movie is, again, a very subjective thing.
Right. Yeah, by the way, if you're getting offended by what you consider, or by what we consider a perfect movie, fine. Your perfect movie's different. We're just talking about our perfect movie. Exactly. Because you're listening to us.
Yeah, you get your own podcast.
It's very easy, actually. Not much overhead to do this.
No. We are currently in Jake Lavoie's office, I guess you'd call this.
Second bedroom.
Spare bedroom in his apartment that is being used as an office.
Yes.
Yes.
Lots of junk lying around.
Yes.
Keyboard over there, books over here.
Comic books. A couple Jason figures. You might have seen that on the Instagram when we did the Friday the 13th episode.
Yeah, my cat's cage artwork that's not on the wall, just leaning against the wall. A lot of books, a lot of action figures.
So you can talk about perfect movies in a not-so-perfect environment.
Yep, lots of mail on the floor, too. Actually, it was on the floor. I cleaned it up. How about that?
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. That was a roller coaster.
All right. So what would you define as a perfect movie?
How would I define a perfect movie? I should have been ready for that question to come my way. I don't know. It's just there's, a lot of things I think that go into perfect movie. Great story, great characters, great acting. But, those really should be stuff that every movie should have, are those three things. But I think it's more about how it's being utilized for that particular movie. You can take overacting and make it work, and work perfectly for the movie for the story that you're trying to tell, for the movie you're trying to make, for the piece of art you're trying to create.
Going on that real quick, let me
Yes.
take an aside.
Okay.
What's a perfect Nicolas Cage movie then?
Perfect Nicolas Cage movie. Shit. The ones that I've seen are pretty limited. I've seen like Con Air. I've seen both National Treasure movies.
He doesn't really overact in those though.
No, he doesn't overact in those. I've seen Raising Arizona, which was really good. I saw Bangkok Dangerous, which was really bad. Out of the ones I've seen, Raising Arizona is probably the best one I've seen. I've heard Mandy is supposed to be fantastic, and it takes Nicolas Cage's ability to be way out there and just make it work for the movie, which I think...
Which is what you were just talking about.
Yeah, and I think that's what you need to look at for perfect movie. You know, some people aren't right for certain roles. Like Will Smith turned down The Matrix to do Wild Wild West, so we got Keanu Reeves as Neo instead. And if I'm not mistaken, I've seen that even Will Smith has been like, no, that was the right person to cast for that role. So, you know, it all just depends. You got to take...
He was the right person for Wild Wild West.
I mean...
I couldn't see Keanu Reeves doing that.
No. I'm amazed at the people who did do that movie. No, I think it's basically it's being able to take all of the parts and utilize them to the best of their abilities. That's what makes a perfect movie.
Okay.
How about yourself? How would you define a perfect movie?
I mean, I agree with everything you said, but also I think the perfect movie sometimes it's not even about necessarily the quality of it.
And I will agree with that.
A lot of it is just what it means to you, and also like watchability.
Yes.
I consider a perfect movie one I can go back and watch a million fucking times. Like, a couple of mine are on my list just because if I see them on TV, it doesn't matter at what point they are, I can turn it on and enjoy it.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll say, because I've got, as we'll get to, I've got a couple of action movies on here, and I didn't want to overbog it with too many action movies. But I mean, like, yeah, like for me, like, say, Demolition Man, which...
Oh, how did I not put that one on there? I
Like,
fucking love that movie.
Let's put Demolition Man on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't use that as an example. I'll go with Commando then. Like, yeah, it's not maybe like the highest of art, but goddamn it, do I not love that movie? And it's just a lot of fun. And sometimes that's all you need in a movie, is it to be fun? But yeah, I think Demolition Man will be a great like talking point for the whole. You know, like, just uses everybody to the best of their abilities.
Yeah. God damn it, I fucking love that movie.
Demolition Man's so good.
You know, I think that would also make a great video game now. Like, if they took the story of Demolition Man and turned it into a video game, that'd be fucking great.
Yeah, I think they could do that. Absolutely. So Demolition Man more fits in with kind of like your definition, too, of like watchability.
Right, yeah.
And rewatchability.
Yeah.
Because there's movies I've watched where I'm like, well, that was more than enough times. Or it's like, I don't need to watch that movie again.
Right. Yeah, you know what? To be honest, I don't think any of the movies I chose are ones that I wouldn't like. And this sounds silly to say, but I mean, sometimes good, like, quality-wise, it can be objective. Like, this is objectively good or bad. Sometimes that's just true.
Yeah.
I think, you know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I didn't pick any of the movies that I consider to be perfect just because they're objectively good.
Yeah.
You know?
No, same here.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they are objectively good. I think they're perfect. But, no, I know what,
right,
you're saying. But
it wouldn't be one I don't want to watch, even though it's objectively good.
Well, like, to your earlier point about The Godfather. The Godfather is an objectively good movie, as I've already been on record as saying I think it's the best movie ever made. I don't necessarily know if I would call it a perfect movie by at least the rewatchability standards. I watched The Godfather and I'm like, I'm good now. Like I can go a while without watching The Godfather again.
Yeah.
Some of the
A little long, all right?
little long.
Hear me, Coppola?
Here's the thing,
Fucking
though.
asshole.
I saw Endgame 3 times in movie theaters, and it felt shorter every time I watched it, despite it being longer than The Godfather.
Yeah. It also helps it being an action movie.
Also, for as much as I would love to put that on this list, it came out this year. And I know one of my movies came out the end of last year, but I think that one's okay to let qualify. Endgame, I think, is still a little recent, so we gotta give it more time to kind of simmer out into, like, you know, the fucking cultural landscape before I necessarily call that one. I still think Winter Soldier is the best MCU movie, but
Really?
yeah,
How many times did you see that in theaters?
twice.
You fucking phony.
I saw Infinity War 3 times. I saw Endgame 3 times.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You consider that one the best, but you didn't
Yep.
see it as many times.
Yeah. Did I? Yeah, no, I think I only saw it twice in theaters.
I think
Saw it
I
in a
saw
much
once
nicer
in
theater,
theaters.
though.
What?
Saw it in a much nicer theater, so.
Oh, did you see it in...
When I was in Schaumburg.
Oh, okay,
Or,
yeah.
or Hanover Park when I lived there, and then went to Schaumburg to see it.
Nice.
Because the theater was just up the street, and then technically in Schaumburg.
Leather seats, reclined.
Yeah, and it was
Side
just
table.
bigger theater, better sound system, no tables. I don't know if actually,
What?
I don't even think the seats reclined. It was just a nicer theater, though. I
Oh,
can't, I can't,
okay.
I can't. It was a 30 screen theater.
A what?
30 screen theater.
What does that mean?
There's 30 screens in the theater.
What the
like
fuck?
it was an AMC 30. So there's 30 theaters. Sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Let me
I was-
rephrase. Sorry, I meant 30 screens. Not that there's 30 screens.
Like, you're
in
looking
the
at 30 fucking screens? What are you, is this Spider Vision? What the fuck is this? Okay.
It's a new way to watch movies.
God. And also put yourself in epileptic shock.
You're watching all the movies that theater is playing at one time.
I'm so fucking confused.
You know a movie you don't ever need to see in IMAX?
What?
10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, you
Good
saw that
movie.
in IMAX?
Yeah, just because they had it available. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll buy an IMAX ticket to go see this.
Oh, that
Didn't-
sounds like more of a drama movie.
It was. It was fucking great, but
That'd be like watching Room in IMAX.
yeah. Room, not The Room.
Right, well, either or. It's pointless to watch The Room in IMAX also.
So anyways. Perfect movies.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I look at a perfect movie.
And
What I said earlier.
yes. Rewatchability.
I don't look at a perfect movie on 30 different screens. That's not what I was talking about.
That would be difficult to do. So. All right. So shall we take it from the top of the list and
Yeah,
work our way?
and also this isn't a list based on quality or anything like that. This is just kind of a list. I organized it this way just because it kind of flows based on genre and type and whatever.
Yeah, just to kind of keep everything together, so we can kind of hopefully flow a little easier from topic to topic,
Right.
and then keep jumping to Demolition Man. You know, we'll just do that for every movie.
And they're mixed back and forth between my list of perfect movies and John's list of perfect movies.
Yep.
But let's go to the first one, which is a John pick. And John, what is it?
Toy Story. I think the original Toy Story is a goddamn perfect movie. That fucking picture is not from Toy Story 1. Jessie was not in Toy Story 1.
Also, they're holding 3D glasses.
That too. But
It's probably from like Toy Story 3.
it's probably from an ad for Toy Story 3.
Yeah, I don't think they even advertise 3D anymore.
No, because nobody gives a shit. But yeah, Toy Story is probably my favorite Pixar movie of all time.
The first Toy Story is your favorite Pixar movie of all
The
time?
first Toy Story is probably my favorite Pixar movie.
Oh, interesting. I've got a Pixar movie to combat that for the next one.
Oh, interesting. Because do you?
Yeah.
Just you don't have to say what it is. I don't even remember what the next fucking movie is on the list. Oh yeah, right. That is a Pixar movie. No, I'll still say Toy Story is, and because I think I've got the nostalgia for it. First of all, I grew up with this movie.
I just had to make sure this was recording real quick.
That would be a real shitty way.
15 minutes in.
Fuck.
Start it up again. God. Hey guys, fucking late to the show. Yeah, we're
Perfect
doing
movies.
movies. So let's go.
Toy Story. Forget all the poignant insight we had earlier. Anyways, so I've got a lot of nostalgia for Toy Story. I grew up with this movie. it's another one that to me, can watch. If it's on, I could sit down at any point. Like, it's one of those where if it's on, I will stop what I'm doing, watch the rest of Toy Story from whatever point it's at. I can watch all of Toy Story. And it's one that's stuck with me that I think is a timeless movie. The sequels are great too, but to me sometimes I'm more of like, you just can't touch that first movie in terms of like, it was just something new and special at that time. So to me, that's why Toy Story, the original Toy Story out of the three, although all three are fantastic. I know I haven't seen the fourth one, and I've got feelings about the fourth one that and we don't need to get into right now. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. This movie still just cracks me up too. Like, I still can find it funny. My favorite scene still is when after Buzz is kind of taken over, and Woody pops out of the toy chest, and he's like, "Has anybody seen my hat?" Oh. And the shark pops up. "Hey, everyone, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy."
Give me that.
That shit is so damn funny every time.
I will agree with you. I think, it's funny because I didn't put any of your movies on my list except for
one of them.
But it's funny when you say a movie you think is perfect. It's like, oh fuck. That is a perfect movie.
Yeah, I mean, as you were pulling up your list too, I'm like, yeah, no, that one definitely.
But Toy Story, I would agree. I mean, like, full on nostalgia for me too. It actually came out the year I was born.
Nice. I was 3 when it came out.
Fucking old piece of shit.
Yeah, I know.
But also, I think I like Woody the best in this movie because I like how petty he is.
Yeah.
Which is really funny because Tom Hanks doesn't. Well, I guess his older roles were more petty, like fucking Turner and Hooch and stuff like that, maybe Money Pit. But it's funny, like, Tom Hanks' voice just like I don't know.
Just being kind of like a dick.
Yeah, or a bitch, even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Toy Story. I don't know if I like Toy Story 2 more because I really can't stand Joan Cusack.
Really? Because I think, again, like, I think Toy Story 2 is fantastic. And
no,
I really
love it too. Because, it has,
I like the character of Jessie, and I think she's great in that movie.
I like the character of Jessie. I just fucking hate Joan Cusack.
Well.
And I find Joan Cusack's voice to be really annoying. But
I don't care for Tim Allen, but I still love these movies, so.
Oh, I love Tim Allen still. Home Improvement was my favorite sitcom of the 90s.
No. I don't watch Home Improvement. Anyways.
Fuck, what was I saying? Oh, just because Toy Story 2 has, like, I think one of the best, like, I think it sounds fucking lame to say, but touches on feelings the best out of all the movies, even though the third one, it like, oh, we're all growing up kind of thing. But you get that in the second one with Jessie's backstory.
Yeah.
And that whole montage to the music when Somebody Loved Me. That hits me harder than the end of Toy Story 3.
Interesting, because...
And then also all of Woody's fear of being left behind because his arm gets ripped. I think that idea of being left behind gets captured just as well as it does in the first one when Buzz comes in and he feels like Buzz is taking his place.
Yeah.
So that's why I like the second one so much. And also Kelsey Grammer as Stinky Pete, the prospector.
Yeah.
I fucking love Kelsey Grammer too.
No, and God, I think it's been a long time since I've seen Toy Story 2. But yeah, I mean, like, and even Toy Story 3, I know you were talking about, like, the poignant moments. And maybe it's because at that moment I was going to college when Toy Story 3 came out. So to me, like, that's the point in life, that's the exact point in life that I was when that movie came out.
Right.
Was going to college, saying goodbye to your childhood. And so just that, him playing with his toys one last time at the end and giving them to Bonnie, I think is her name.
Bonnie, yeah. I'm really glad you remembered because I didn't until you said it.
And then just like, and that letting go of where, Woody's like, so long, partner, to Andy because he knows he's not going to see him again. And just kind of that really final moment to me is what, like, and this is getting to the feelings about Toy Story 4, that ended that trilogy perfectly. Like it's like him growing up and like Woody being scared to be left behind and being scared to be replaced and forgotten. And then he grows and grows to the point where he's like, you're not going to forget me.
Right.
I'm always going to be part of your life, and now I can help somebody else's life. And to me, like that whole story, Woody's whole character development over the whole thing is just fantastic. And I love these fucking movies. They're so good.
How long do you think before they give Woody a prequel movie? Because in Toy Story 2, when fucking Al from Al's Toy Barn finds Woody at the yard sale, Mom, she has no first name, so it's just Mom, she says, this is an old family toy. Which makes me wonder if Woody was handed down to Andy.
Interesting. Well, plus
Because
his
he's
show was
also-
older.
It's an old fucking show. So it makes me wonder, where did Woody come from?
Disney, don't listen to this podcast. Please don't do this. I didn't even want Toy Story 4, damn it.
Dude, it's gonna be. I give it 2 years before we see a teaser trailer for prequel Woody. For morning, they're gonna call it Morning Woody. Probably not.
No. They're going to call Toy Story 5 the prequel.
The Woodying.
I was going to say Woody's
Woody's
Awakening.
Woody's Awakening.
The first time a toy became sentient, and then Woody has to like go wake the other toys.
Oh my god! And that's how all the toys get life.
Yeah.
Fuck! Don't say that, John.
But yeah. So Toy Story, I mean, it's a great start to an amazing trilogy, and to me, I think
Also, the first movie ever made fully on computer.
Yes. And is fortunately not nearly as creepy as they originally wanted it, because there was like that toy, like it was one of the Pixar shorts or whatever with the creepy ass baby and
Yeah, the diaper that doesn't move.
yeah. I'm so glad they managed to move away from that, because that shit was terrifying. Also, You've Got a Friend in Me is, in my opinion, one of the best themes to a Disney or Pixar movie.
And the only reason anyone knows who fucking Randy Newman is.
Exactly.
Like, Family Guy is so fucking lucky that Toy Story used Randy Newman's music, because otherwise no one would get that fucking joke in the Apocalypse episode of Family Guy. Because I think that came out, it would have had to come out in 99 because it's about Y2K.
Yeah.
So yeah, 4 years after this came out. So, Randy Newman, you're fucking
just
welcome.
Kind of sits here and narrates everything you see. You got a Randy Newman invitation there, Jake?
Yeah, I do.
Back to the
Red-headed lady, gonna take an apple. She gonna take a bite. No, she gonna breathe on it first. Fat man walking over. Yeah.
nice.
So, yeah, but that is a great song.
Yeah, no, You Got a Friend in Me.
And what about when Tom Hanks sings it in Toy Story 2 from the fucking show?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh my god, that also means that Tom Hanks as a voice actor exists in that world.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. All of them do.
Well, it doesn't have to be Tom Hanks. It could be Tom Hanks' brother. He's the one who's the voice actor.
Jim Hanks or John Hanks. It's Jim or John. Hold on.
Jimmy John?
No,
Jimbo?
because he does the voice of Woody in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Ah. You can just look up Tom Hanks' brother.
He's got a bunch of fucking brothers.
Who voiced Woody in Kingdom Hearts 3?
Where's that at?
Down, people also ask.
Ah.
Idina Menzel, according to this, but that's not correct.
Asshole. Okay. What?
Nope.
No, it's not.
It is in Kingdom Hearts 3.
No, it's fucking not. It's. God damn it. John Hanks? Nope.
Nope. I'm also looking.
Jim Hanks. Alright.
Bastard got there first. You got a friend in me.
Whoa, look at this. Jim Hanks' voice with follow-up by Tom Hanks. Yeah, it's really weird that Tom Hanks just, like, phones out voice recording work to his brother for anything non, like... mainline Toy Story shit.
Tom Hanks is a busy man, all right?
Yeah, I know, but even like, okay, like, does Jim kind of feel like fucking Tom throwing me his scraps? What
No, come on. You watch the movie. He's like, I'm so thankful I don't have to deal with the fame and celebrity that Tom has.
Yeah, but he's saying that. I mean,
okay, I get what you're saying, but
yeah, I don't know.
so, anyways, I think I mean, I know we got a lot to get to here on this list, but I mean, just for me, Toy Story is a fun movie.
Yeah,
I think again, it's one that you can just sit down and watch, and it definitely makes the most. Like, I even think the animation still holds up to this day.
yeah. I mean, you see
Like-
it looking older compared to the new ones,
But still.
it's not bad.
No,
It's not bad animation.
no, not at all. And I mean, there's a reason you don't ever see. I mean, you see. I guess you do see Andy's face, but and Sid's, and that's. I mean, that's kind of the worst that it ever looks because they don't
Yeah,
quite
it gets
have
a little bit
people
uncanny
faces
valley
there.
for the eyes.
And
That's all it is just eyes, I think.
you know, but just like the toys look fine because they're toys. So like our brains like accept that, but.
You know what honestly helps it is like how like retro all like the houses and stuff are.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks like it's from almost like the 70s or the 80s.
Yeah.
Like it's like the houses and everything all look very old school, so it kind of just lends itself to maybe like not perfect animation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and I get that, and that you know you definitely, and that goes right with the whole like making the best of what they have available. Like they had, you know, for the time the best of the technology, but like you look at what we've got available today, you know, very limited technology, and they made the best of it, and they've got amazing performances out of everybody, and I think that kind of goes towards closer to my definition too, where you take you get the best possible product out of everything, all of the component parts.
Yeah.
I think Toy Story absolutely hits that on the head.
Right. All right. Why don't we segue into our second movie now?
Okay. Also Pixar.
Yes, and this is a
'Cause
movie of my choice is The Incredibles.
Also a fantastic movie.
Yes.
Much better than its sequel.
Yeah, and a lot of people said they liked the sequel as good, if not better, and I thought that was just really weird.
I disagree with that.
And you know what? I would have liked it better had they not, like... This takes place right after the first Incredibles.
Oh, yeah.
To
where
be
they
honest,
deal
I
with the
figured
Undermine.
if they were going to make an Incredibles 2, they might as well make it set in the future of Incredibles.
Later on.
Right. Because they kind of ran... Like, I mean, you can tell that the voice of Bob, like... what's his name? Craig T. Nelson.
I was going to say, you could scroll down. You're on the
Yeah, but I remember his name. I watched Coach.
Okay.
You could tell he sounds older.
Mm-hmm.
He sounds much more tired, which I guess it works because he's playing
Exhausted.
fucking, yeah, he's playing single dad.
Yep.
But like he sounds a little worse for wear than the first one, and it's supposed to take place like 3 months after the first one.
If that, like...
I think they just do like a segue because they end up in the hotel.
I thought it was like almost immediately thereafter. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
the
I think it was
Underminer,
immediately.
and then maybe like a couple weeks later.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Either way, but so the first Incredibles.
Yes.
I think this one's a great movie because I love the style that they did this movie for. Like
That very
kind of set in
retro-y.
the 70s.
Yep.
Is what it looks like.
Well, see, I always kind of got more of like a almost 50s,
I did too.
50s, 60s James Bondy kind of vibe.
But I assume it's a little bit later, or maybe it is 60s.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking like when Bob was Mr. Incredible and he was like in the blue suit and he was young. I assume that was probably like 50s, but I guess it's only 10 years later because their kids are kids still. So 60s probably is when it takes place.
Well, Violet's a teenager, so
All right. Yeah, so like 15 years maybe.
yeah.
All right. So,
Anyways,
yeah, okay. So, well, whatever. 60s, 70s vibe is what I get from it. From all like the furniture and like the, not the landscape, but just the style of everything.
yeah, the building, the architecture,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
costuming.
Exactly. Okay. So I love the way they do that. I love the music in this movie. Like
Oh,
it
yeah.
totally plays to that like James Bondy type feel. Like all the Like,
Mission Impossible kind of.
yeah, but it's also jazzy too, which I like a lot.
Yeah.
I like all the characters in this movie.
Syndrome's a great villain.
Yeah, he's an amazing villain. Mr. Incredible himself I like so much because I really like the way that they capture the way a family kind of works in that movie. Like the dysfunction even to it. Like how the dad's just working every single day and he's fucking fed up with his
Dead end job.
Yeah, but like fed up with the way his life is going.
Yep.
Because he thinks it could be better and stuff. Now I don't know where to go. I feel like I don't know.
Painted yourself to a corner.
Not even that. I don't know. I'm just stuck for words right now.
Well, I think it just, like you said, the family dynamics, great. Like, the concept very easily could have been, like, cheesy, almost. It's like, oh, it's a family of superheroes. But they play it, I think, probably to the best that you could do a family of, like, this is a family of superheroes. Mm-hmm. And they're in addition, well, they're not even trying to raise their kids to be superheroes. They don't want their kids to have the same lives that they did until they have to.
Well, they can't either anyway because the government's shut them down. Ooh, a little bit of The Watchmen in it also, I guess.
A little bit.
But I'll also say I like how dark the movie gets.
Yes.
Because the movie, like, predicated on superheroes are getting killed.
Yeah.
And they actually show skeletons and bones of dead superheroes.
I remember that being kind of creepy when
he hides behind Gazerbeam's body.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, all right.
And Gazerbeam knew to like carve Kronos into the wall, like right before he died. It's like, god damn, they really like went into depth on like there's like backstory into this. They're not just doing that for the like say like he's killing people, like it's all serving a purpose to the story.
And then, of course, there's the comedic bit of the heroes getting killed with the capes, but, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but...
Maybe they weren't killed. Maybe they were just, you know...
One of them got sucked into a jet turbine.
He might be alive. Or, no, it was a girl. I can't remember her name, though.
I mean, Syndrome definitely didn't survive his time in the turbine, but...
You don't know that. He could have lived. In fact, I thought that's who was going to be in Incredibles 2. They could have just had, because, you know, it would have
his fucking brain in a jar.
Exactly. I was going to say that. It would have played into, like, that kind of, like, old school supervillain type thing.
Yeah.
If he is just a brain in a jar.
All right. That's fair. But
also, the villain in this movie, he is, like, actually smart. And you know what? This movie does better than what Iron Man 3 tried to do, where, like, your demons come back to get you. Mm-hmm. Because Iron Man 3 does that, but this movie does it way better. I enjoy this movie way more than Iron Man 3.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that for sure.
I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, that's actually kind of the same movie.
Also, real quick on Iron Man. So, did you see the MCU announcements?
No.
For the next phase? So, Shang-Chi is one of them that they're doing. He's Shang-Chi. He's like a martial arts inspired superhero.
Okay. Any relation to Iron Fist? Or?
No.
Okay.
But it's going to be called Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. And the Ten Rings is, it's, I believe, the terrorist organization that kidnaps Tony Stark in Iron Man 1.
Oh.
But also, in the comics, the Ten Rings are kind of like the Mandarin's organization. So they're actually redoing the Mandarin for Shang-Chi, where basically it's like Ben Kingsley's character used the Mandarin persona, and then the actual Mandarin's like, nah. Because like apparently they had like a online short or something that involved like the real Mandarin and Ben Kingsley. So they're going to basically be redoing the Mandarin to make him a little more comics accurate and be like the actual villain is the actual Mandarin.
So wait, are they going to be doing like a reboot or are they
No, they're basically going to be like, that guy wasn't the Mandarin. This is the actual Mandarin.
Okay, basically. So like they're going to play it off like Guy Pearce had heard of the Mandarin, so he just took the name.
Exactly.
And then also put Ben Kingsley's face to it.
Yep.
So it was, okay.
Yep. And now it's like, now here's the actual Mandarin.
I buy that.
Because also like, he has like rings of power, like, you know, like that do shit.
Yeah. I remember reading about the Mandarin a little bit on Wikipedia.
Rings. Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently they're redoing him.
So,
which is the tie into Iron Man 3. So anyways, back to The Incredibles. I've also seen this movie described as the best Fantastic Four movie we'll ever get. But Marvel's also doing a Fantastic Four movie. They announced that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Comic-Con.
By the way, did you see a Fantastic Four costume in the new Spider-Man game? It's called the Bagtastic Bagman because it's Peter Parker in a Fantastic Four suit, but he's got a bag on his head
Nice.
with Spider-Man eyes drawn on it. And they added the Far From Home suits on there.
Ooh, I'll have to check it out. I haven't played in a while.
Yeah, the red and black one that he makes at the end, and then also the black tactical one.
Ooh, nice. Well, I kind of already had that one, but also,
Night Monkey.
yeah, the Night Monkey.
Actually, you know what? They didn't fucking even call it that.
They
which
should have.
bothers
No.
me.
But, anyways, Incredibles.
The Incredibles, yes. Costume design, super simple, but
Yes.
like perfect.
And like instantly, like I don't want to say iconic, but like instantly, like
Recognizable.
and like just it works perfectly for this movie, and it helps identify them as a team, and like
Right.
I agree. This movie's absolutely fantastic, and while I know I opened with Toy Story, and I will say I still think I like Toy Story more than The Incredibles. Love The Incredibles. Great movie.
And I like also that they were able to like, as far as Jack's story, they were able to like not include it, but then make his own like little Pixar short for it called Jack Attack, which
Yeah.
is on the fucking DVD. Which
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
if
one with
anyone's
his
not
babies.
seen it, go fucking pull out your DVD that you probably have of this movie.
When the babysitter gives them a frantic call on their way back.
Yeah, Kari.
Yeah.
When she's checking the voicemails, and it just totally explains what happens at the end of the movie.
Yep.
But even without that, it still all makes sense. It's like, oh fuck, the babysitter was dealing with that fucking thing the whole time.
Yeah. Well, and like I like too the way the movie does it, where it's like, you know, you're not quite sure what's going on, and then Syndrome shows up to kidnap the baby,
Right.
and then we find out Jack definitely has powers at the end.
Yeah.
So
So say you're watching The Incredibles.
okay,
At what point would you stop it to watch Jack Attack, and then resume with the movie? You'd probably watch it as soon as they beat Kronos and they're in the limo talking about it, and then right as
yeah, just before
right when she picks up the phone, pause. Then watch Jack Attack, because I believe at the end of it, Syndrome appears.
Yes.
And he explains, like, the S on his chest. He's like, oh, it stands for sitter. I mean, I was going to put babysitter, like BS, but you know why I can't have that on there.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny.
Also, isn't Jason Lee plays Syndrome?
Yeah.
He's
My Name is Earl. I fucking love his Jason Lee.
he was great. Like again, everything about this movie is great.
Do you know that he's a professional skateboarder?
I do now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He owns his own skate company.
Huh.
Like,
Good for you.
He's got, like... Oh, you mean him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Jason Lee, if
like,
you're listening to this.
Fuck, all right, whatever. I liked it. I don't know. But, like, he's even got, like, 90s, like, skateboarding videos, like the old school ones.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe 80s, I guess. But, yeah, it's weird watching him fucking skateboard because he's really good at it.
Cool.
But, I mean, like, I picture Earl, the fucking chubby, like, really scruffy, white trash-looking guy. And then he's, like, ripping it up on a skateboard.
Oh, see, I always think of his character from Dogma.
Oh,
'Cause that's
but
always
I'm a freaking demon.
Yeah, that's what I always think of with Jason Lee. He's going to be in Jay and Silent Bob reboot, isn't he?
I think so, yeah. So is Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Which got confirmed on Instagram.
Yep. Well, he was in the trailer.
Oh, I haven't seen the trailer.
Yeah.
I just saw the picture of them all together smiling.
Yep.
It actually didn't really look like Ben Affleck either. He looked
he's Ben Affleck now definitely looks quite a bit different from Ben Affleck.
Well, no, I know that. I'm saying, but I mean, I just saw Ben Affleck in fucking Batman vs Superman.
Yeah. That's fair.
And the Jesus Christ, the banker, I think, or no, the
The
accountant. I almost said the autistic.
No, that's not what that movie's called, Jake.
It could have been.
Could have been. I wouldn't know. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either, but I know they like allude to that in the trailer.
Yeah.
But
I heard it's not too bad. The Incredibles is fantastic.
Yes.
If you haven't seen it yet, the handful of you listening, go see it.
But yeah, I would consider it a perfect movie just because, I mean, for as good as also, like you say, the animation was in Toy Story, which was in 1995, this movie came out 9 years later. So animation-wise, it's just that much better. Like,
oh, yeah.
It's super clean, super smooth. It's great because they have, like, giant explosions and a robot fight in a fucking city.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of small pieces moving around all at once, especially with, like, Syndrome's, like, because he has, like, the rocket boots and stuff.
Yep.
And, the island that they fight on, originally, that they fight Kronos on.
Yep.
Super beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rockets shooting the fire out. Oh, Frozone's power with the ice.
How it's
looks
very
fantastic.
smooth.
Yeah. Well, they actually have a lot of texture to it, which is like what ice
Or,
does.
no, sorry. By smooth, I mean like the animation is
Oh,
smooth.
like clean. Yeah.
And also, in the Frozen 2 trailer, I don't know if you've watched this yet, when Elsa's trying to get off this beach or whatever, and she's running towards the water and shooting ice to like jump to it, just do the Frozone thing where you ice skate on the ice as you're creating it in front of you. Come on.
It might happen in the movie.
It might.
Do you think they'll drop any Frozone?
No, because Frozen is a Disney movie and Incredibles is Pixar. And I know they're the same company, but
Well, they're not
they keep...
I
Disney
know they
owns
keep
Pixar.
them fairly separate,
Yeah.
but at the same time, they could make like a...
Maybe. We'll see.
Nod. I mean, for fuck's sake, they made Planes as Disney and Cars as Pixar.
I thought Planes was Pixar.
No. It's Disney.
I haven't seen either of them, so...
I thought Frozen was Pixar, though.
No, Frozen's Disney.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh. Huh. But,
Moana is also Disney.
is it really?
Yes.
Oh, well, people love that one.
Yeah,
I mean,
love
people love Frozen, too, but now Frozen's also been shit on for almost
It's
as
just-
much as it's been loved.
Yeah, it's just mostly because it got overplayed.
Yeah,
Like, more
I
than
think so.
anything. Because Let It Go is still a great song, and Frozen is a good movie.
You know, they got in trouble for a little bit with Let It Go.
No.
There was like at one point there was a lawsuit possibility because they realized it's actually pretty close to being plagiarizing another song that already exists.
Oh, wow.
I remember hearing that a few years ago.
Did not know that.
Could also be totally wrong.
It's Disney. They will throw whatever money they need to at it to make it go away, so...
Yeah. But yeah, The Incredibles.
Yeah.
And like we said earlier, this movie way outdoes the sequel it just got.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the sequel was fine,
Yeah, but...
but it doesn't hold anything
I've
close
s-
to this one.
I mean, for comparison, I've seen The Incredibles maybe half a dozen times. Like, I haven't... Yeah, I like... Honestly, most movies that I really like, I don't necessarily watch time and time and time again. Like, realistically, me watching movies multiple times in theaters is a more recent phenomenon just because I have expendable money now, and I'm like, I want to see that again right now. But, like, if I have a movie at home, I am more inclined to do something else than watch a movie at home. And I don't know why. I love movies. But I think it might be something to do with the theater experience. Is something that I just really, really like.
Yeah.
More than watching a movie at home. But yeah, so I've seen Incredibles maybe half a dozen times.
Okay.
And I've seen Incredibles 2 once. And I don't really know if I'm going to go out of my way to watch it again. So,
Yeah, I don't really think I'll ever need to watch it again, except for when it's on Disney Channel and nothing else is on. It's like, well, whatever. I'll fucking watch Incredibles 2.
I'll play a video game. Nah.
I'll play the Incredibles video game, which was really fucking hard. I don't
All
know if anyone
Dis-
had a PS2 or a GameCube and tried to play that shit. That shit was hard.
Disney games are always hard. Lion King, Aladdin.
I only had Hercules.
Fucking,
the Toy Story game was fucking a nightmare. I had that on computer.
Fucking,
It was also for PlayStation 1.
Emperor's New Groove for PlayStation 1 was fucking hard.
Oh, I remember playing that at like a Target back in the day.
Yeah, no, me and Nick had it.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
I was
Fucking
playing
hard.
the level where they're on like it was like the cart level, where you have to
Okay.
like jump over the fucking barricades and shit in Yzma's lab.
I think the furthest we got was when the Jaguars chased them.
I don't know. I only played a demo, dude.
Yeah, no, I know. No, I mean in the movie because it plays through the movie chronologically.
Right.
And I think the part where the Jaguars chase them in the movie, I think is as far as I got in the game. Because that level was fucking hard. And I was really young and bad at video games.
Right. But yeah, Incredibles. It's an incredible movie.
It is an incredible movie.
Oh, and this was what I was going to say earlier. I remember when the trailer came out for this movie. It was a teaser trailer, actually. So it shows Bob's office, his little office area, and it's just like panning over his memorabilia and stuff with like really like what's the word?
Newspaper.
No. What's the word? Like nostalgic type music. Like
Okay.
Like he's thinking about his heyday, and then cuts to him, and he's like in his suit, and he's trying to like get the belt closed on it.
Yep, I remember that trailer.
Yeah, okay. Now, I don't know why, for whatever reason, I must have been like 8, maybe 7 or something when I saw the trailer for that. I thought like when you hear his wife's voice call out, I thought he said, "Okay, Mom, I'll be right out." I thought it was like about a fat guy who lived with his mom and was like a superhero or trying to be a superhero or something. I thought that's what the movie was going to be. So I was like, this might be funny, I guess. I don't know. This kind of looks shit. So, way outdid my expectations.
There you go.
I remember thinking that in the theater. I was like, so he like lives with his mom. Yeah.
All right.
That's what I thought the movie was going to be. Just some old depressing guy. An old depressing guy, but different story.
Yes.
And because you were saying earlier, like, this premise could have easily gone very cheesy.
Yep.
I think that would have been a fucking...
Cheesy way to go with
It
it.
would have been full cheddar.
Yeah.
Way to go with it.
Yes.
But, yeah, Incredibles. I think it's a perfect movie. Let's move on to the next choice.
Which is...
The most recent movie on the list.
Yeah, the most recent. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yes, you were correct. The most recent, but we'll stick with animated superhero movies.
Damn, their IMDb page for this movie is phenomenal.
Yeah, they put the time into it. It is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which, yes, is an incredibly recent movie. I understand. But, my God, does every single part of this movie just work. The animation is absolutely gorgeous. The characters are absolutely fantastic. And it tells... I mean, you get a new Spider-Man. You get several new Spider-People, actually.
Thank you for saying Spider People.
Well, it's a new Spider-Man for Miles, but then I'm like, oh yeah, but also we got Gwen, and we've got Spider-Ham, and we got Penny Parker, so Spider-People. Just like, and you get Peter Parker in it. You get 2 Peter Parkers on it. And I think the movie does what I think a lot of superhero movies need to do, especially when they're based on characters we already know. Though DC kind of fucked it up.
Who?
DC.
Oh, sorry. I coughed when you said it.
No, you're good. Which is just like, you know who Peter Parker is. So here's a quick recap, like right at the beginning. It's like, I'm the one and only Spider-Man. Here's shit I've done. You know me. Blah, blah, blah. Moving on.
Spider-Man 3 joke.
Spider-Man 3 joke, which was hysterical the first time. I don't know if it necessarily played as well going forward, but I still love, that's one like 5-second moment of the movie.
Right.
And like,
I like that they do it for all the Spider people you haven't seen before also.
Yes.
Like, that probably a lot of people haven't seen before.
Yeah.
But it's
And then
still
they
like,
do it again.
It's still fucking Spider-Man. Let's just go.
It's like,
they're different, but you get why.
bit by spider, here's their personality.
Yeah.
Here's the person that means something to them that died. Moving on.
You can see why they're different.
Yeah.
So,
like, yeah, I mean, and Miles is such a great character. And, too, for me, like, the scene in this movie that really kind of got to me, and this whole podcast, I think, is fair game for spoilers. You've seen Into the Spider-Verse, right?
yeah.
Is the scene right after Uncle Aaron dies. Mm-hmm. And the other Spider people decide that Miles is not going to come with. Or no, just Peter B. Parker decides that Miles is not going to come with to Kingpin's lab. And, webs him to the chair, and then they all leave. And then Miles' dad shows up to talk with him through the door. And it's partly because sad dad shit gets to me.
Yeah. It does to me, too. But, yeah, I understand why it gets to you especially.
Yes. But that scene was just so impactful, and like, I don't know, just this movie truly, like, even other movies on my own list, I could probably find something to nitpick about. I don't think there is a single thing wrong in any of Into the Spider-Verse. I think all the characters are fantastic, incredibly well fleshed out, even if they're retreading characters that we know. And even characters who could have been jokey, like Spider-Ham, could have just been a complete joke of a character, and he adds the comic relief that's needed in scenes, I think, but even he gets poignant moments, like when he's the one who explains to Miles, it's like, we've all lost somebody. You can't, being a hero doesn't mean you can save everybody. It means doing the best that you can, And maybe, too, because the Stan Lee cameo got to me, probably because this movie came out 2 months after Stan Lee died. It was the first movie with a Stan Lee cameo after he died. And just the funeral for Spider-Man. It's like, we've seen enough Spider-Man movies that scene hits hard. And I just and that goes. I think it takes everything. This movie takes everything that's in the culture as part of its entire package, and to help elevate and make the best of all of its component parts.
I would say, especially with like the action words that they write into the movie.
Yeah.
Also, like the thwips and stuff, how they actually include that on there.
Yeah,
like
it
you
feels
say,
like a
as
comic
far as
book.
including the whole culture.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the culture now is the movies.
Yeah.
But this does the perfect tie into the movies and the original source material,
Yeah. And
while
it,
showing us something new.
and it absolutely feels like a comic book the entire time. Like you're watching a comic book come to life. And yeah, I fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
Like
Lord Miller fucking
knocked it out of the
geniuses.
park. This movie 100% deserved the Oscar that it won, and every other award that it won.
Which Oscar did it win?
Best animated.
Okay. I didn't know if it like also won like maybe screenplay or something like
Nope.
that.
Just best animated, but
Okay.
it so deserved it.
Yeah.
I remember.
I agree. I really liked it. And Spider-Man's always been a favorite of mine. Like, actually, not a favorite, just my favorite Marvel hero. Spider-Man's my favorite superhero in general. My favorite superhero.
Really, I thought your favorite was Green Lantern, but
No, he's just my favorite DC. But Spider-Man, overall, favorite superhero.
yeah,
Because he does just, like, play into, like... His whole story is very much, he is just a person. Like, that's always been his thing. It's like, he's always just a struggling kid trying to, like, balance being a superhero and being a kid into adulthood, where he's trying to fucking balance paying bills for his shitty apartment in New York.
yeah,
And he's also the one saving everyone at the same time.
yep,
A lot of people.
yeah. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
And also, they do, like what you said with Spider-Ham's explanation, you just do the best you can. I think Spider-Man, like, when you think of Spider-Man, you also think of failure. Because to be honest, he does fail a lot.
Yes, he does.
But-
Which comes up in the movie.
Yeah.
He constantly talks about how no matter how many times he gets knocked down, he will always get back up.
But I've always liked that about Spider-Man.
Yeah, just a great character, and just I don't know. And I know this one's real recent, so if you haven't seen it, you know how good this fucking movie is.
How good is it, John?
Nick told me, because Nick is one who, like, if a movie's too hyped up, it usually ruins a movie for me. It's just like, I went into
me too.
He's like, I went in with really high expectations. It was okay. Nick fucking actually liked this movie.
Yeah.
So
Especially with it being superhero movies, because he's kind of tired of the superhero shit.
yeah, he's tired of the superhero shit. He doesn't really care when a movie's super hyped up. And
We're talking about Nick Rosenblum, by
Yes,
the way,
my brother.
two-time appearing guest on
Yes.
the podcast.
Frequent collaborator. Yeah, when stuff is hyped up, he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Usually, and it's more because it's like, well, this is what it's supposed to be, and in his head, I think, and this is just my thoughts on it, is probably like it gets played up enough in his head where it's like, there's no way it's gonna be that good, and then like, so that's the expectation he goes in, and then the movie lives up to that the low expectation. But yeah, no, he came out of Spider-Verse saying that despite the hype, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's how fucking good this movie is.
But also, like, there are so many incarnations of Spider-Man, just even Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There's Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, fucking...
Miles Morales is Ultimate Spider-Man.
He's the new Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yes, but...
There's older Ultimate Spider-Man.
was
That was
dead.
Peter Parker. No. I'm
I
talking
thought
comic books-wise.
No, I know. I thought Ultimate Peter Parker was dead. I thought he dies, and that's
in the
why...
Miles Morales level of Spider-Man. But even before there was Miles
No.
Morales, there was an
I get
Ultimate
that,
Spider-Man.
but I'm saying, like, in current continuity, there's not even a Ultimate Peter Parker.
Okay, fine. But
That's
I'm
what I
just
thought.
saying
Okay, I
that
get you,
has
I get you.
existed.
Yes.
Okay. So there's been so many different incarnations of Peter Parker as Spider-Man,
Yep.
including the fucking cartoons and other like the what was it?
Games.
Spider-Man Unlimited.
Yeah.
Where Neil Patrick Harris did the voice of Peter Parker. Weird 3D animation. Did you ever see that one? It's weird.
All right.
Like, I like the way that they do all the different Spider-Mans in this. And I really like Peter B. Parker Spider-Man.
Yes.
Because it shows, like, the next level of, like, Peter Parker failing. Like, usually they don't go much further past, like, your, like, maybe 30 is what they've kind of gotten to with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I like
now we're
Peter B.
back
Parker,
with,
who's like almost maybe 40 probably. I think he's probably 40 years old. Late 30s
Yeah, how long?
at least.
Because he says how long he's been Spider-Man. Because like each one is like, I've been Spider-Man for however long. Because Peter Parker, the one that dies, says he's been Spider-Man for 5 to 10 years, I think it was, or some shit like that. It was a pretty low number, and I think Peter B. Parker said he'd been at it for
like 20.
almost 20.
Yeah, I think maybe 2025.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know.
You could probably scroll down in the fucking quotes. The quotes.
Oh, quotes.
Under trivia, under goofs, quotes up.
Fuck. Oh. All right, let's do, and for 10 years, I've been the one and only Spider-Man.
Okay, so Peter Parker, not Peter B. Parker. Peter Parker was for 10. So Peter B. might be for 20.
That's the final lines voiceover.
Yeah, and I love that, like you said, every Spider person got theirs, their line of like, it's like, all right, let's do this one last time. And they kept repeating that. And then Miles got to do one at the end, which I just loved.
Yeah. Because it's finally him taking up the mantle as a Spider-Man.
Yeah. He has his own costume. And like Stanley says, it always fits eventually.
Yeah. I wonder if at some point they can actually include the Ben Reilly Spider-Man. Because it was interesting when they revealed that the Peter Parker who died in Miles' universe was blonde. Because Ben Reilly's blonde. But that's because he's Peter Parker who dyes his hair blonde and changes his name to Ben Reilly because he thinks he's a clone, but he's actually the real Peter Parker. I have the book right there. Oh. Really interesting character, which I would like to see them do eventually.
They might.
Honestly, though, after seeing Into the Spider-Verse, I think it'd be best to do them animated.
Yeah.
Because it'd be hard to do that and take it seriously in a real-life movie. But I think when it's animation, for whatever reason, you can kind of shut your brain off to, like, certain things.
Yeah.
To, like...
I don't know.
It feels more easily approachable in an animation setting.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think animation's kind of the best way to do Spider-Man. Having even seen, Homecoming, Civil War, Far From Home, which I do love the Tom Holland Spider-Man, and I fucking love the Raimi Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I feel like the animated Spider-Man was so good, especially the cartoon in the 90s, the Amazing Spider-Man one.
Yeah. See, and here's the thing is, I didn't watch a lot of Spider-Man shit growing up. Mm-hmm. Like, I watched the Raimi Spider-Man movies, and I played a bunch of Spider-Man games, but I might have watched it, but I don't really recall ever having watched Spider-Man shit growing up.
I feel like it just lends itself to animation because, one, it's easier to, like, do webbing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to, like... Because Spider-Man's so larger than life that it's going to have CGI in it and stuff, which can kind of hurt him sometimes. Like, a little bit in Spider-Man 1, people make jokes about Rubber Peter when he's jumping on the roofs.
Yeah.
But with animation, it just looks so smooth, so clean, so believable. It works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really well.
But, I mean, that also helps Tom Holland, though, because he is a pretty acrobatic guy. Like, he did ballet and shit.
Oh, yeah. Like, you've seen him do backflips on Instagram and shit.
Yeah, well, and he was in, like, Billy Elliot, and so he's got a dancer background and everything, too. So
right.
That definitely lends itself to playing Spider-Man.
Yeah, and, I mean, as technology is getting better, obviously...
CGI gets better.
Yeah, and it all looks more believable in real life, but...
Yep.
Just saying, like... Also, the way, like we were talking about earlier, the comic book tropes that they do in Into the Spider-Verse, it looks so clean and good and so, like, perfect. It's a great way to do Spider-Man. Yeah. And I'm excited for the sequel that they've set up for. Well,
I know they want to do a sequel, and I think they've got at least one... I think they want to do a Spider-Gwen spinoff. That's, as far as I'm pretty certain, they definitely want to do. I'm not sure what else, but...
So I would love for them to do a Clone Saga spinoff also.
They might.
Since they've opened it up to so many different universes, it'd be really easy for them to do.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. But I think on the topic of Spider-Man and Raimi's Spider-Man, I think we can move on to our next movie.
Film.
This one is from you.
Yes. Spider-Man 2.
I was about to say, it's Dark Knight. Haha, I fooled you.
I was thinking about that one earlier too, but I just...
Here's the thing, like, real quickly on that, like, Dark Knight is great, but the more, and I still will contest it's a fantastic movie. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's a perfect movie.
I mean, I would almost consider it a perfect movie.
I mean, it's great, and I love it, but I don't know if it's necessarily one that I could put on a list of perfect movies, especially in terms of rewatchability, because it's a long, dense movie.
Yeah, I guess maybe the thing I'd fault it for is I just hate the fucking trope of I didn't tell you because I wanted to protect you. I fucking hate that cliche.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Did you like in Dark Knight Rises when Alfred's like, how about we all tell the truth? Basically, he's like, why don't we let the truth have its moment in the sun?
Yeah. But, yeah, I just fucking hate that trope. And it sets it up for it finally coming out in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, Alfred, you waited 7 years. What? It's 7 years after Dark Knight.
It's a while, right? Yeah.
Okay. You waited that long, and now you're going to tell him, it's like, yeah, because he's becoming Batman again. But, like, you've seen him depressed for 7 years about this. Had you just told him that, he could have moved on.
Yeah. Yep. Could have.
Fucking hate it. I hated it in the Marvel movies, too. Yeah. When it's revealed at the end that Cap knew that fucking Bucky killed Tony's parents.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess I just didn't tell you because I wanted to protect you. It's like, fuck off.
No.
I hate that cliche.
He didn't tell Iron Man because he wanted to protect Bucky. Because he knew how Iron Man would react.
In the letter, he says, I didn't tell you because I wanted to protect you.
Yeah.
The letter he sends Tony at the end.
Yeah, that's fair. But doesn't matter. They're both done in the MCU. So
you know what? It would have been fine had he not said that in the letter. Yeah. I just hate the actual admitting of, I didn't tell you because I wanted to protect you. That's so fucking irritating.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2, however,
actually tells Aunt May that it's his fault that Uncle Ben is dead, which I love. Yeah. Like, honestly, Spider-Man 2 does so well what Spider-Man 3 couldn't do, which is balancing a ton of different story elements.
Yes. Because,
like, people shit on Spider-Man 3 for having too many, like, foes for Spider-Man to deal with, which it does, but that has to do with producers pushing Venom on Raimi at the last second.
Yeah.
Thinking that it couldn't hold up on its own, so they made him do Venom also. But Spider-Man 2 has so much going on with it, which really fucking does well with the Peter Parker facing so many, like, human challenges in his life on top of being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which, so he's dealing with his best friend, like, Harry, hating him or resenting him anyway, because, like, Peter is the photographer for Spider-Man, and, like, Harry doesn't trust him anymore because he's like, you still take these pictures of Spider-Man, you know he killed my dad, what the fuck's wrong with you? Yeah. So he's dealing with that. He's dealing with watching Mary Jane move on to someone else, even though he, like, had to turn her down. He's like he doesn't want to put her in danger of, like, being, knowing who Spider-Man is and being in a relationship with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So he turns her down at the end of the first movie. But now having to see her move on to someone else is really fucking hard. It's hurting his
ego.
Pride,
I
guess. Ego, whatever, same shit. He's dealing with, seeing Aunt May struggle for money. Mm-hmm. Like, she's fucking broke. She's going to have to leave the home that her and Ben have lived in forever. He's fucking broke. He's like...
his landlord's an asshole.
Mr. Dickovich, yes. Yeah. He lives in a fucking shit-ass apartment. He's forced to take pictures of himself that get spun into, like, a shitty story about himself that he can't fix. Because he did try to, like, push the pictures of, like, old men playing chess in the park and, like, pigeons and stuff. And then Jameson's like, get out, you're fired. If you're not going to give me pictures of Spider-Man, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. An asshole boss.
Yes, whose son is getting married to the girl he loves.
Yes.
And then he's also losing... his fucking Doc Ock is his mentor of his, and he's seeing him become evil, which is fucking plays on your mind.
Yep.
And then also he's losing his powers because all this, like, hitting him
is weighing on him.
Right, and he's losing his confidence to be Spider-Man, which I like how it, like, really makes it feel like it's like in his DNA. Like, it's part of his full-on biology. Like, obviously we fucking know that because you see the DNA sequences in the first Spider-Man. But it really humanizes the hero part of him. Because you see him not being able to perform. Which I will also say, I like that Raimi decided to make him have biological webs because it illustrates that happening in the movie so much better. Because in the cartoon they have that happen, and like where he loses his powers, but he still has his webbing, which is like, I guess he can still get around, but I like that.
Becomes harder when you don't also have super strength, though.
Right. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine trying to come off a building and holding onto the web? Like,
Please don't break, please don't break, please don't break, please don't break.
Well, I'd be worried about my hand slipping off of it, all the G-force.
Yeah.
Or you wrap it around your hand, it cuts your fingers off. But it also plays into more the fact that at this point, he doesn't even want to be Spider-Man anymore. Because all it's done is ruin his life. He has no time for anything that he wants. So he fucking puts the costume away. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not even going to be Spider-Man anymore. Maybe this is a sign that I shouldn't be doing it. And then, just trying to be Peter Parker himself, he's still realizing, oh, I'm still not, like, this isn't what I want. Because, I mean, yeah, he's doing good in school, but he still can't get Mary Jane and stuff. And, I mean, let's see. He admits to Aunt May that it's his fault that Uncle Ben is dead. She just fucking walks away from him. She can't even say anything to him. But, and it doesn't make his relationship with Harry any better either.
No.
And actually, it probably fucked up his career, too, because he can't take pictures of Spider-Man anymore.
Yep.
And then he also sees, like, people dying because he's not there to save them when he goes into that burning building. And he saves that little girl as a human, but then he gets out and it's like, oh, yeah, someone got stuck on the 4th floor. And he's like, fuck. If I had these powers, I could have done something.
Yeah.
If only I had web shooters, goddammit.
Why didn't I just build some? I'm smart. Plus,
actually, that would have been a funny way for them to tie in the web shooters thing, as if he just had to make them.
Yeah.
But then I guess he'd get his powers back and be like, well, I don't need these anymore. And then he'd give them to someone else, and someone else is fake Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually might not have been a bad sequel to the movies, then.
Do you know that in Raimi's 4th one, they were going to have, who the fuck was going to be Vulture? I don't remember who Vulture was going to be, but Bruce Campbell was going to be Mysterio.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Well, they were also kind of setting up for Reptile, potentially.
Yeah, because Doc Connor...
the lizard. Reptile. Mortal Kombat's the Reptile. He appears. Yeah. But the lizard...
Because, Doc Connors is in it.
And he only has one fucking arm.
And he's in every movie, isn't he?
Not in the first one.
Yeah, no, yeah, he is just in the second one, I guess. But yeah.
Well, second and third.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's in a couple of the movies.
Right.
I mean, they also set up for Doctor Strange, so.
Did they?
Yeah, in this one. When Jonas is trying to come up with the name, he's like, Doctor Strange. No, that's already taken. Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, no, he says, that's pretty good. But it's taken. So they actually do already have Doctor Strange.
Yep.
And also, we'll say this right now. Far From Home actually has J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson.
Yep.
Which is...
It was
pretty
great.
Cool.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Perfect J. Jonah Jameson.
Like,
it was so good, they made him J. Jonah Jameson in the Ultimate Spider-Man show on Disney.
Yeah, because he voices it in a lot of... Doesn't he voice him a lot of times now? Because, I mean, it's the same as Matthew Lillard was the voice of Shaggy for a long time after the Scooby-Doo movies.
Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, of course, just make them that from now on.
Yeah. Like, he's perfect. Like, there should not be another live-action one until after J.K. Simmons dies.
Yeah, they did it also with Clark Gregory, who was Cole from S.H.I.E.L.D., Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
He did the voice of him in the cartoons also.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah.
Also, Spider-Man 2 has one of the, in my opinion, I think a lot of people's opinions that I've seen, at least online, one of the greatest, like, superhero moments when he stops the train.
Oh, well, the whole train sequence is amazing.
Yeah.
Up to when he's swinging to the clock tower.
No, I'm talking...
I'm saying that's all included, though. That's the start of the train fight.
Yeah.
When the face-off, after Peter gets his powers back. That's so good. It's so good, like, when when Doc Ock throws him against the wall and all the bricks fall on him and he takes Mary Jane away and then Peter just bursts out, and then he's like looking around trying to figure out what to do, and all of a sudden he notices his vision's fucked up because he's got his shitty glasses on, and he takes them off. He can see again. He's like, drops them in slow motion. You see the lens pop out. It's fucking awesome. Music's building up, and then he clenches the fist and he feels his strength back. And then it's also funny when he takes the spider suit back. When J. Jonah's realizing, this is my fault. I turned the whole city against Spider-Man. He was a hero, and I couldn't see it. And they hear something, and he turns around. The spider suit he's nailed to the wall is gone.
Yep.
He's like, he was a thief.
Yep.
That's the perfect. Oh, it's so good.
This movie.
I just remembered that whole sequence. I fucking forgot how much I love that sequence.
Really, this is one of the best Spider-Man movies ever. This one, Into the Spider-Verse, and I would say Homecoming are probably.
Did you like Homecoming more than Far From Home?
I did like Homecoming more than Far From Home, but I loved Far From Home. But yeah, I think those are probably the 3 best Spider-Man movies that there are, easily.
Yeah, and fuck you if you say Tobey Maguire Spider-Man sucks. Go fuck yourself.
Is he too old to be a high schooler? Yes, he was. But
you know what though? It's still played to me.
Yeah, other than that, like that's it. He seems a little too old, but everything else about it is fine.
For this era Spider-Man is okay.
Even
if that's your argument, is like, oh, he's too fucking old. He's not for Spider-Man 2 era Spider-Man.
No, yes, you're correct. I'm agreeing with you.
Right.
But yeah, no, that's like the only real complaint I can think of for why Tobey Maguire shouldn't be him, is he looks a little too old, and that's it.
And everyone also shits on the crying face. It's like, go fuck yourself. What do you look like when you cry? Yeah. It's not a great thing, okay?
No, it is absolutely not. Spider-Man 2 is fantastic.
Enough said. I'm ready to move on to the next movie because I fucking love Spider-Man 2, and I might watch it later this week.
Good choice. I honestly might watch Into the Spider-Verse again.
Yeah, I've been wanting to watch that also.
That's one I saw 3 times in movie theaters.
I saw it the once, and I own it now, and I haven't seen it since.
Saw it, yeah, I haven't seen it since it was in theaters, but... All right, what do we have next? I don't even know.
The next movie is another one that I chose, and it is...
But I can't believe I didn't add this on my list as well, because I love this movie.
It's Tommy Boy.
Fucking great comedy.
Yeah, only 7 out of 10 on IMDb. And
that shit should be...
Fuck you, IMDb.
That shit should at least be a 9.
Yeah.
No, that's IMDb's.
So fucking good.
That's just IMDb's rating.
Oh, is it really?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know if they feed from Metacritic or Rotten Tomatoes or something.
Nope, IMDb has its own, because they're all user reviews.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yep. So, Tommy Boy is fucking fantastic.
And you know what? It is the perfect movie. Like, it's... Okay, so it's in the top 10 of, like, Paramount DVD sales, which includes, like, shit like Godfather and, like, the other, like... great Paramount movies that have ever come out. It's in the top 10 of that.
Yeah.
And it fucking got shit on when it originally came out.
It's so good.
It's so weird that it could have gotten shit on when it first came out.
Yeah. And I think, at least especially for people our generation, is probably a lot of people's first introduction to Chris Farley.
Probably.
Because we were too young to watch him on SNL, considering I was 3 when this movie came out.
I was born when the movie came out.
So I was 3 when Tommy Boy came out. I couldn't tell you the first time I saw Tommy Boy. It was probably, I mean...
You didn't see it on March 31st, 1995?
No. I would have been...
You didn't see it opening day?
No. I would have been too young. I would have been a 3-year, 2-month-old baby.
Yeah.
Not baby, but, toddler. But... Yeah, no, it's just like, this is also one of those movies too that's great when you watch it as a kid.
And then grow up
and catch the other shit.
Realize why Richard's so funny.
Yes.
Because when you're a kid, only Tommy's funny.
Yeah.
And then as you grow up, you realize the banter with Richard is fucking hilarious.
And I think this is a great point with a lot of comedies is, especially, there's usually, you have to have 2 people. You got the funny person and you've got the straight man.
Yeah.
And when you're younger... The only person that matters is the funny person.
Right, which is why Ace Ventura does so good with kids.
Yes, because there's nobody for him to play off of, really.
Right.
But, like, I even saw this about the Three Stooges. There's obviously 3 of them, and Larry is definitely the most straight man of the group.
Until Moe. Or not Moe, until Shemp.
Shemp takes over for Curly, though. But
yeah, I know, but he's not
Curly. Nobody is as curly as Curly. Nobody.
Fuck you, Curly Joe.
Yeah, and Joe Besser. They both sucked.
Isn't that the same guy?
No.
Oh yeah.
Curly Joe DeRita Joe Besser, Shemp, Curly. But so when you're a kid, you watch Curly. As you get older, then when you're like a teenager getting a little older, you're also watching Mo for the comedy. When you're an adult, you're watching Larry. Because when you watch Larry, like there's like jokes you didn't even notice when you were younger. Because he's like doing his own thing half the time, almost beating the shit out of Curly. So,
Right.
And like that's perfect in this. Like Richard gets funnier when you get older.
Right. Yeah. And Dan Aykroyd, too. Dan Aykroyd's character is really fucking funny.
Yeah. Just this movie is just so damn good.
Yeah. And like you say, it's good through the ages.
Yeah.
It is like a wine, how it gets better with time.
Yeah, because then you pick up on shit that you didn't pick. Like, and I know this isn't like the greatest example of a joke, but I didn't get it when I was a kid. When Richard's like, okay, so how much of your brain or how much does the usual person use their brain? 10%. How much do you use? 1.5.
Yeah.
The other half is filled with hard candy and bong resin. Right. And like as a kid, I'm like, well, I got the hard candy part or whatever, but I don't know what the fuck bong resin was.
Well, I didn't even get when I was a kid, the whole like everyone uses 10% of their brain. Like when you're a kid, you don't know that fucking fact that everyone likes to spout.
Even though it's not true.
Right.
But
I've seen Lucy.
Yes. Yeah. You become a USB drive when you use all of your brain at once.
Ah, yes.
That's where we get all the USB drives from. Anyways.
Thank you, Lucy.
Yeah.
She sponsors this podcast, by the way. Do not dislike this podcast or she will hunt you down and eviscerate you or turn your hair blue or something weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see that movie.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, it's good.
But,
it's all right.
And then also, like, at the beginning, I didn't get that he was supposed to be smoking weed with those guys.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
Didn't get that as a kid. And then I grew up and I'm like, okay, that's what he's doing there.
I just knew parties were hazy because I had been to some parties with my parents.
Yeah, there you go.
There's always a haze in the room.
Yes.
And I had a grandma who smoked. Not weed, just cigarettes, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, this movie's just so damn good. And so quotable.
And it's got a lot of, like, feels to it, too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you
like
said, like, dad shit gets you. Like,
his dad's funeral.
This movie really should.
Shit, man, I was always hoping that when eventually I'd get married, because me and Dad and Nick used to do this all the time, is like I'd throw my arm around Dad and he'd be like, how do we look? And Nick would go, chubby. So I was looking forward to eventually, when I get married, to being able to do that. I can't do that anymore.
You could do it with Nick.
I could do it with Nick. Yeah, I was going to say, I'll need somebody else to do it. So, but anyways, enough sad dad shit.
Yeah.
Just like Tommy Boy, and it comes out of fucking nowhere too.
Yeah.
And he's dead on his wedding day. All right, comedy. But
the way they are able to pick up from that is crazy.
Yeah, and it's just so good, and like his fucking freak out at the restaurant. He's like, let me tell you about
Jojo
why I
circus boy.
suck.
Yeah. That is a great monologue.
That is a good monologue. Now,
save that for the monologue podcast.
Yes.
It sits right up there with Independence Day.
It's up there, right? But one thing that disappointed me with not this movie, but People, is one time I got to use, somebody asked for my John Hancock, and I'm like, you mean Herbie Hancock? And they're like, what? I'm like, I'll just sign it.
Every once in a while I get to say, I'll go to someone's house and say, do you want anything? And say, I'll just have a sugar packet or two. I love saying that shit.
Oh, man.
That's the small shit that's not funny until you're an adult.
Exactly. It's just like you don't get it.
Especially because I had a cousin who would eat sugar packets at the table, so I was like,
nice.
I guess some people eat sugar packets.
Also, one time, oh man, Dad had said something to Nick, like, as parents do where they insult their children.
Yeah, I have parents, yes.
Yeah, I don't even remember what he said. And Nick did the thing from this movie. He's like, that really hurt. Not here. Or here so much, and this only works when you can see. He's like, but right here. And he points to his heart for those of you on the audio, which is all of you.
I got to see it.
Yes.
But you know what's fucking weird? For whatever reason, when I was a kid and like he does that, do I have a mark on my face? Because it really hurts. And he turns and you see the big ass bruise on his face.
Yeah.
I don't know why. When I was a kid, I didn't fucking see the bruise. I didn't get the joke that not here or here so much, but right here. It's like,
that's bizarre.
I have no idea why. I never noticed the bruise on his face. I just thought he was gesturing to where
it hurt.
I mean, yeah, to where it hurt. But like, I didn't pick up on the bruise.
Huh.
I really don't know why. I don't know if I thought it was facial hair or something.
Interesting.
I don't know why. I remember it blowing me away when I was like 12 and I watched it again. I was like, what the fuck? He's got a big ass bruise on his face.
I mean, that
I thought I hit you in the shoulder. My shoulder's all right.
Richard, what'd you do?
And then, like, it's even better after, like, watching the few Chris Farley documentaries that have come out now, and they say, like, that's really just based on Chris Farley and David Spade's relationship because they worked in the same office writing together.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
Chris
they
Farley
were
didn't
just
do a
good
whole lot
friends.
of writing. But,
He did a whole lot of drugs, but
I just mean, like, he didn't do as much writing as the other people. He just, like,
He
did
was
really well as the character
performer.
in there.
yeah.
But, like, that was, like, half of that movie is just shit they would do with each other in the office. Because I don't know if you know anything about the way the movie was made. It was very fly by the seat of their pants. Like, it was going to be something totally different. And the guys who were making this movie also had to compete because it got delayed so much. Mm-hmm. They had to compete with SNL for use of Chris and David Spade because, like, it was supposed to be made in the summer. But then SNL had to go back on TV, and they had to go back and do SNL shit. So they were literally, as soon as SNL was done, coming out to film.
Damn.
For Tommy Boy. And, like, they were kind of they wrote the movie as it went. And so, like, when you know that backstory, and then you watch the movie again, it's like,
And the fact that it all
this
works.
feels seamless.
Yeah.
It feels like a seamless movie. It doesn't, like, I just watched we'll even say it this way, Suicide Squad. That's a movie that had to, like, get delayed, and it had to get redone and stuff. And it was being written as it went.
Yeah.
That movie's fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Tommy Boy is so fucking good still.
Yeah.
Even though it was being made by the seat of their fucking pants.
And maybe that's why at the time people didn't care for it, is maybe like if people knew about that and like they kind of went in, and because I would say it is slightly disjointed, just kind of slightly. And I'm not even sure how to explain it, but there are just kind of moments where it's just kind of like, I don't know, but I kind of get, it does have that kind of feel, and maybe because it's kind of like, it's a lot of like, they're driving, now here's a moment, they're driving, now here's a moment, but that, like, and that's not a criticism of the movie, like, that's just kind of how it feels.
I guess, but
and
I
maybe
would say,
there's,
like, that's kind of how it has to feel.
Yeah,
considering
I mean, it's a
they
road
have to
trip
go
movie.
all over the Midwest to try and sell these fucking brake pads.
Oh yeah, but no,
But I see what you're saying.
So I could see where people would be like, all right, it's like there's not a lot going on. It's just like driving, new spot. Funny shit happens, they get then the next spot, and just over and over again. So I can kind of see that, but still, it's just...
At the middle, it might drag a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess maybe the nostalgia helps with that part of it.
Well, and also...
Because you can just see, like, the jokes, and, like, you appreciate the jokes so much because they are nostalgic.
Yeah. And I think this one works especially towards your rewatchability definition. It's, you get the whole like it's quotable too. Like this movie is just full of great quotes, and I think this is one, I think probably out of all these movies so far, it's probably the most quotable movie.
Yeah.
Out of all of them.
This one's like SpongeBob. Like, pretty much anyone you fucking quote this movie to, except for the Herbie Hancock fuck you dealt with earlier.
Yeah, I was like not ready for that to like fail as spectacularly as it did.
But like, you can pretty much say any quote from this movie to people and they're gonna fucking get it.
Yeah.
This movie is honestly why I made friends when I moved out here. Because I moved out here when I was 11. Okay, I moved from Michigan to Illinois when I was 11. I didn't know fucking anyone out here, and I had to start 6th grade. This movie probably made me my close circle of friends. It made me friends with Jordan. It made me friends with Nick. Kid Rock made me friends with Race because I burned him a CD, and then he was cool with me after that. And fucking Nick Laudicina.
Yeah.
Because I fucking looked like Tommy Boy when I was in 6th grade. I was a chubby, short, fucking blonde-haired boy. So... yeah, I could act out some Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
And, yeah, this movie actually made me friends when I moved out to Illinois. The close circle that I've lived with at college and I'm still friends with to this day.
Because of Tommy Boy. Thank you, Chris Farley.
You fucking dead motherfucker. Have you actually seen the pictures of him found dead?
No, I don't know if I really want to.
It's a little depressing.
I bet it is. I'm good.
I watched
him die and let it happen.
just
I
like
watched Jane die.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. But
New guy's in the corner puking his guts out. Veteran sitting there with a cigar. Oh my god!
all because you wanted to save a couple pennies, which to me it
Get
doesn't really...
out!
What?
Get out!
Do you validate?
Now!
See?
Fuck! I love this movie.
Yeah, Tommy Boy, great movie, and I don't really like. Honestly, if someone really said that they really didn't like Tommy Boy, it would kind of throw up a red flag and be like, really? You really don't? Are you just an asshole? Why?
Yeah, like I don't know. This is such a damn good movie.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been at it for a while now.
An hour and a half.
Damn.
I mean, fuck.
We got a lot to
majority
go.
of the list. We might actually have to split this up into 2 episodes.
Oh shit.
Which would be good for us, because...
Then we can record more next week.
Yeah, okay.
But anyways, Tommy Boy, fantastic fucking movie.
Yeah. Do you want to do one more movie on the list?
Yeah, let's do one more, and then...
We'll probably have to call it, because, I mean, it's almost 9 o'clock.
Scheiße.
Like 8:45.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do one more, and then we'll do our first 2-parter.
Okay. Well,
Damn. That's okay. We got a lot of good discussion, I think, on this one.
Yeah, I do too. All right.
Was
Next
this
movie is
wow, this
one
was
of
real?
your choice.
Yeah.
And another one where I was like, fuck, that's a great one. This is a perfect movie.
Yeah. The Princess Bride.
Uh-huh.
I think another incredibly quotable movie.
Yes, very much so.
Yes.
And one that you don't realize is as funny as it is until you're an adult. Or
Yeah.
It has
It
parts
also
that
has
open up to you
layers.
as you get older.
Shit. I read the Carrie Elwes' book about the making of Princess Bride.
Wait, he wrote a book all about this movie? Or
He wrote a
it was
book about the
section
making
book?
of. No, he wrote a book about the making of this movie.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. It was a pretty good book. He broke his foot twice. No, he broke his foot once, but he visited a doctor twice on set. Because there was the hill where he rolls down, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the hill. They had ATVs to basically get them back up to the top, and he was kind of fucking around with it, and his foot got caught, and he kind of ran his foot over with the ATV. So he went to a doctor, because actually the way he kind of rolled, I don't know if it's how he rolls, but like how he ends up sitting at the bottom is he's sitting that way because his foot's broke, so he has to like keep it up.
Oh, yeah.
And then the scene where
Which is funny, because they could have... I mean, like, you don't see his fucking face when he's rolling down the hill. They could have just used a stunt double.
they could have, but they didn't. But then and then the scene where what's the guy's name? The 6-fingered man.
Oh,
Count Rugen, I think.
I think that is it. Let me just double check here. Yeah, Count Rugen.
Yeah, there's the scene where he knocks him out.
With the sword, he
with
bops
the
him on
sword.
the head.
Yeah, like
Which I always thought looked really weird. How it just knocks him out instantly.
Well, here's the thing. They took several takes of that, and then Christopher Guest accidentally hit him, and he got knocked out. So that's the take that they used in the movie, was the one where he
Perfect.
actually knocked him out. But when he came to in the hospital, or when he came to and then went to the hospital,
Did it look good?
it was the same doctor who took care of his foot, and he's like, "Wow, you're getting hurt a lot, aren't you?"
Are you getting paid enough for this movie, Carrie?
But yeah, this movie is just so fucking good. Mm-hmm. Like, and I love the way they get everybody's buy-in on this. Like, you go into it expecting it's a movie called The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
It's like as a child, you're like, ew, that's a girl movie. Mm-hmm. So how do they open it? With his grandfather reading it to a boy and being like, no, it's not just a kissing book.
Yeah.
There's adventure and pirates.
Like,
and they get
the
everybody's
stuff with the
buy-in.
kid and the grandfather is stuff you don't appreciate until you get older also.
And
like how funny the grandfather is.
Yes. And again, I think that helps get the buy-in for the entire audience. Mm-hmm. It's like it gives you the framework.
They address like the perception of the movie instantly.
Right off the top. And how even kissing movies or kissing books are, boys can enjoy them too.
Right, yeah.
And shit like that right off the top. But none of that is even like I think really the point of this movie at all. Mm-hmm. It's just it's there to get everybody's buy-in on the movie.
Yeah.
And just like again, I think this is one that because Carrie Elwes and Robin Wright That's what it was. I couldn't remember her name.
That's weird.
She's listed as the Princess Bride, even though her name is Princess Buttercup.
Yeah. She's also like listed 10th under Fred Savage.
Weird.
As a character.
And Andre the Giant.
Yeah, I would put him at the top too. Fezzik's important.
Yeah, they're
also
all...
my favorite part typically of Andre the Giant documentaries, which I've seen like 2 or 3 of, is when they actually talk about his role in The Princess Bride as Fezzik.
He was great in this movie too. Everybody, yeah. But this was kind of like Carrie Elwes and Robin Wright's like breakout. Like I think this is one of Robin Wright's first credits. I think according at least to the book that Carrie Elwes wrote.
Well, let's find out.
3rd credit on IMDb.
Oh, The Yellow Rose as a TV series. Then she was in Hollywood Vice Squad, and then Princess Bride.
So one of her earliest. I think this is one of Carrie Elwes' earliest. And it's such a fun movie. This is another one that if it's just on in the background, like anywhere, you can pick this up immediately and start watching and enjoying it. Carrie Elwes has been in a lot of shit, apparently.
Well, I mean, it was still his
5th,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
6th.
7th role.
Whatever. So,
he was in a movie called The Bride.
Interesting. Not related to The Princess Bride.
Nope.
But it's fun. It's got a lot of action, but it's all like that old classic like swashbuckling, like Hollywood action.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? A lot of it you can like really tell is on a Hollywood set.
Yes.
But it kind of plays into it because he's telling it in like a storybook.
Yeah.
So like I don't even like some of it's like, oh yeah, this is like on a set. Like when they're fighting at that like abandoned like castle top at the top of the Cliffs of Insanity. The Cliffs of Insanity.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to say it.
Gotcha.
But when they're fighting up there, like it feels very much like a set, but it kind of makes it feel almost like a play a little bit, which works because it's a storybook.
Also, one of my favorite points about that, because Carrie Elwes throughout the book talks a lot about that fight.
Oh yeah.
And how basically it's like if him and Mandy Patinkin weren't filming, they were training with the fencing instructors to choreograph the scene. It's like if they weren't on set, that's what they were doing because they had to get this down.
Yeah.
And
it showed.
Well, but when they finally showed it to Rob Reiner, like when he was ready, they had done it so much and had gotten it down so pat, it was way shorter than what he wanted. So they had to add, I think, almost like the exact same length's worth of fight to the end of the fight.
So they had to because they had it so smooth.
Yeah, they had it so smooth, and they had it all down so quick that they had to add more to the fight.
It was probably only the length of when they reveal that one of them's not left-handed.
I don't remember.
Well, I'm just saying it was probably if they had to like add that much to it.
That actually might be when they like that. I wonder if that's not when that got added. Is like it's like I'm not left-handed now we can fight more.
Right.
I think he says in the scene when, but I don't remember. But yeah, like they had it down so because it's them doing it. The only time I think they used the stunt double is when Carrie Elwes or when Wesley does like the flips on the bar. It's the only time they had a stunt double for that whole fight.
Tell me Carrie Elwes couldn't do that.
Apparently not.
Why wasn't he training for that shit? God damn it, Carrie.
Because it's near the end of the fight and they didn't have time to train him for that part. But yeah, so like that's such a great moment in the movie. Mm-hmm. This is another really quotable movie. Again, you got Inconceivable. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Right. Well, and like, so that when he fights Fezzik, and then the scene with Vizzini, the Battle of Wits, like each one of those points is supposed to illustrate just how like strong, smart, and skillful that the Dread Pirate Roberts is.
Yep.
Carrie Elwes' character. And so like that fight scene, like it illustrates like all those things. Like he's skillful, he's smart, and he's strong. And like it's such a big thing. It sets up for who everyone perceives his character to be for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, is all of I mean all three of those too, especially, and that's why Inigo and Fezzik seek him out to help.
Right, because well, Vizzini can't.
Well, yeah.
But Vizzini's also the only one who's like a true asshole.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know, Danny DeVito was supposed to be Vizzini first. I think it was. And
I could
Wallace,
see it, but I'm glad Wallace Shawn is.
Oh, Wallace Shawn was afraid he was going to fuck it up. Like
really?
he's like, Danny DeVito would be so much better at this than I would be, and he was
might
like
be the most quoted person for this movie.
oh yeah, and he was terrified that he was just going to like not play the role right and everything.
That's funny considering how small it is, but I mean how important it is to the lore of the movie, I guess.
Yeah. Just like he's so great.
Wait till I get going.
That's what the line was. I was going to say.
Where was I? Australia. Yes, Australia. I love his fucking character.
Yeah.
And like when I realized that that's also the voice of Rex from Toy Story, that blew my fucking mind.
Yep. Wallace Shawn is a very distinguishable voice.
Ooh, and Bob's boss from The Incredibles.
Yeah.
I'm not happy, Bob. Not happy.
Want to know why I'm not happy?
Why are you not happy?
That woman out there's getting mugged. Well, let's hope she's not one of our customers.
Yeah. Listen to me when I'm talking to you, Par.
That was actually not a bad Wallace Shawn.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's just the par part.
Yeah.
Par.
Still worked.
Yeah, but I totally agree. Princess Bride is probably a perfect movie. It's definitely one like I can watch. I showed it to Kate, and she fucking loved it too. It's one of those movies where you get excited to show someone who hasn't seen it before.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, you're about to see something great.
Well, and this
it's
is
one of those movies where when you show someone, you like at the funny parts, you look over at them to make sure they're laughing. And like you get excited to like be like, yeah, so that's what that quote's from. Like you've probably heard me say that, right? Like that's the joy of this movie too.
Oh yeah. Just and this is one that as soon as it's done, this is one of those there's I think a couple on here for me where as soon as it's done, I could start it again and watch it again.
Yeah.
Like that's how damn good and rewatchable this movie is.
It's also a great rainy day movie.
Yep.
Like if you're stuck in the house like Fred Savage's character is, and like you're like fuck, it's whatever. Like you can put it on the TV and like just do whatever the fuck you got to do in house and just walking through the rooms.
Watching the Princess
Bride. Great
Bride.
movie for that too.
Whenever you come in.
Right. Yeah.
Till.
It's just one of those movies you can watch at any point. It's a great DVR movie. It's like, oh fuck, we got the Princess Bride recorded. Fuck yeah, let's watch it.
Yep. Also, sorry, I just remembered another piece of trivia again from the book. Apparently, the scene with Billy Crystal, with the Miracle Worker, Miracle Max. Apparently, well, first Rob Reiner and the DOP had to be removed from set and like put in a remote location to watch the scenes because they were laughing so fucking hard it was ruining takes. Okay. And then apparently Mandy Patinkin actually broke a rib trying not to laugh on set.
What? How can you break a rib trying not to laugh?
Good. Well, I mean, if you're laughing,
abs does he have that he like flexed him and snapped his own rib?
This is what I've heard. Allegedly, Mandy Patinkin broke a rib.
All right.
Trying not to laugh, to like hold in a laugh on set.
Yeah, that's another quote that's good now as an adult is have fun storming the castle.
I use that one occasionally now. My mom used to use it a lot, and I didn't. But then, like, as I gotten older, like yeah, it's a good one.
There's a board game I found on Amazon at one point called Have Fun Storming the Castle.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's a Princess Bride board game.
That's cool.
I haven't looked any more into it, but I was like, oh, fuck, that's dope.
He's not dead. He's only mostly dead.
To blave, which we all know means to bluff. So you're probably playing cards with him and he cheated.
Get out of here, witch. I'm not a witch. I'm your wife.
Yeah, Billy Crystal's character is pretty fucking awesome, too. Like, before I really even, like, knew who Billy Crystal was or whatever, it's great.
So good. You think they're going to make it? Nah, they're totally gonna.
It would take a miracle.
That's what it was. Thank you. Gotta get out of here before I call the Brute Squad. I'm on the Brute Squad.
You are the Brute Squad. Yeah. That was one of the quotes, like, where I started, like, being like, oh, it's hilarious when I started getting older.
It's like, it's perfect.
Yeah.
This movie is just so... Would anybody like a peanut?
Another very quotable movie.
Yes. This Tommy Boy, I think good ending on a couple quotable comedies.
Yeah, so go quote them to your friends when you're done listening to this episode.
Yes.
You fucks.
Yeah. But
this is a really good podcast.
this was. I'm glad we're doing this, and I look forward to other special episodes, as well as next week's part 2 of Perfect Movies.
Yeah, you know what's hilarious? I really didn't peg this as taking a part 2, but it's nice talking about movies that we emphatically really enjoy.
Yes.
Like, I mean...
Plus, we've stayed on topic pretty well this time.
Yeah, but, I mean, like, everything that we stray off topic for is to illustrate our point about the movie we're talking about.
Exactly.
So...
Well, not on some of the other ones. Sometimes we...
No, that's
especially
what I'm saying, on this one.
On this one, anytime we... Yes, I agree.
But
the fucking Godfather podcast, we talked about that for maybe 20 minutes of a 2-hour podcast.
And Evil Dead 2.
We at least talked about horror movies with that one. We talked about fucking everything else on the Godfather one.
Well, that's kind of also what happens when you have a guest, too.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, all right. That's the end of this week's podcast, I guess. So part 1 of the Perfect List.
Join us next week for... Okay, so how many did we do today?
All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 done. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Whew! All right, well, we might need to... Maybe we'll cut some of those.
I was actually thinking I might cut 1 or 2, because if they're ones that you haven't seen, it's not going to be as fun to talk about them.
True. Let's cut Demolition Man.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. It was a late edition. You know what? No, I'm going to leave it Demolition Man, and I'm going to cut one of mine.
Okay.
Because there's at least 1 or 2 I know to cut.
Well, so we've done 6. We should really cut 4 out and do 6 and 6.
Well, I mean...
We could discuss. Whatever. We'll figure that out. But, Jake, where can the good people find you?
At Jake_Lavoie on Twitter and Instagram. We're also making a short film right now. You can crowdfund it on Indiegogo. It's at Roleplay Film. If you go to Indiegogo, you can look up Roleplay Short Film. You'll see it. It'll have... We talk about us in the description and everything. And then, John, where can they find you?
I am at Rosendoom2 on Twitter. Rosendoom1 on Instagram. And then...
Tell them, John.
You can find the podcast at LTTS Podcast on Twitter and Late to the Podcast on Instagram. Jake is now going to...
fucking right, you can.
I was going to say, and now Jake is going to threaten to consolidate them, but then
nope, I'm done being a bitch about it. I'm just emphatically happy that we are doing something.
Yeah. You know what? Like, even though we've got a small listener base, this is fucking fun. I enjoy doing this every time we do this.
This episode revitalized me in enjoying this, I would say.
I'm glad.
Not that I was, like, not liking it, but it is fun to, like, really talk about shit we do enjoy.
Yeah, because sometimes it is hard. Like, what's the one I think? The Big Lebowski one, I think, is one of our weaker episodes. Because we just really don't know how to talk about it for some reason. But this week, and I think it's because we're, trying to nail as many movies into this as we can, that we're, picking up the pace, and I think that's helping with the flow of conversation.
Yeah, and helping to jog memory about other shit too.
Yeah. So this has been a good episode. I would definitely say probably look forward to more episodes like this. Not perfect movie ones,
but maybe a list
special
of an episode.
Exactly, special episodes that this is obviously being our first test one too, like this. Probably not. Don't necessarily always expect them to be 2-parters.
Right. Yeah.
This one just kind of happened.
This one really caught us off guard.
Yeah, this was our first time, and I came in. I had 3 movies, and I asked.
I had fucking 9.
Yeah, you had 9. I'm like, fuck. So I came up with another 3. So yeah, we'll cut a couple, and then also any future ones we'll plan slightly better.
Well, because the ones that I'm gonna cut, they're ones you haven't seen, and we can save those for actual episodes. Late to the show episodes.
Yes. So I would say look forward to a super bad episode in the future.
Yeah.
What was the other one that you pulled up that I hadn't seen?
No.
Seen Stranger Than Fiction. Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll cut those.
Which I own. I own Man from U.N.C.L.E. on Blu-ray.
Oh, fuck, really?
Yeah, and I just didn't watch it. I bought it from Mariah at garage sale.
You bought it for her or from
her?
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
That must have been her dad's stuff.
Yeah. So I own that. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen Superbad. Yeah.
All right, then.
So
Look forward to those episodes in the future.
yep, and more episodes like this in the future as well, sporadically.
Yeah. All right. Well, tune in next week for episode 2 of the list of perfect movies movies we consider perfect.
Yeah.
I'll bookend it that way.
Yep.
All right, guys. Peace out. Don't be late.
Boy.